Now I'm about to go out and bring in my garbage cans, and I'm usually gang stalked when I go out to bring in my garbage cans. Now how do they gang stalk? They just come out. They could drive up in a car, they could be driving out in a car, they walk past your house, they could just be coming out of their house. In other words, our sick, corrupt government gets surrounding neighbors to do something called same-time exit entry gang stalking. When I come out of my house, a gang stalker comes out of my house. So let's go out and see who's there today. Right, you can see a car just pulling out of their driveway. Now, am I saying that that car is a gang stalker? No, because I'm not a mind reader and I don't know people's intentions, but you would not believe the extent that they go through to gang stalk. What they're really trying to do is drive me out of my neighborhood, because that's what they do. The government wants to make trouble for people. Now, in COINTELPRO, it was activists that they would target. Here, and now, it's just anybody. It's crony national security if they don't like you. And what I think it is, because my neighbors who started this in Massachusetts Drive, it was a sociopath fireman that moved in that started my gang stalking, and his mobbing friends. I could tell you where they came from, which is a very rough area. But I won't, because that would identify them. But essentially, what it is today is we have suspicious activity reports and we have watch lists so that they can really just target anybody. And it seems they're doing the same thing that they've done in history. In other words, during the McCarthy era, what they targeted, it was the right targeting the left. In COINTELPRO, who did they target? They targeted Martin Luther King Jr., they targeted the women's movement, they targeted people who were against the Vietnam War. So again, it was the right targeting the left. And that's exactly what I think it is now, because my neighbors were Republicans, and they were right-wing Republicans, and I was the only Democrat. And that's what I think was one of the motivating forces. The other motivating force was unconsciousness. And that is these people who are repressed, right-wing people that are authoritarian, they are unconscious. They're not the kind of people that study psychology, and I'm carrying my garbage cans as I do this. They're not the kind of people that are very reflective. And so they're unconscious. And I used to sleep late every morning because I go to bed about 5 o'clock in the morning, so I would sleep late. I took an early retirement because my brother had become legally blind, and he was a profoundly retarded person, and I couldn't get babysitters for him. Just noticed my garbage man didn't take the batteries again. And so they would see me sleeping late, and they would see I also am more of a spendthrift. You know, I tend to be an artistic type, and we don't think about money too much. And they were envious of that. They thought I was rich. And the reason I know that is because one of the husband told me, he says, well, you're rich. You know, I said, where did this come from? So they were envious. They were repressed, that they didn't know themselves. They were authoritarian. They were right-wing authoritarian types. And that's how my gang stalking started. When I came to California, I asked myself, and that was actually one of the motivating reasons of leaving. I probably wouldn't have been brave enough to come cross-country by myself with a profoundly mentally handicapped person if I didn't get a push. And that was, I was being gang stalked in my neighborhood, and they get all the, all right, I can't say all the neighbors. I'm going to just say they get neighbors to gang stalk you, and so it was pretty bad. And so I left. I moved to Rancho San Luis Rey in Oceanside, California. I was gang stalked there. Now I'm on Coral Drive. I'm gang stalked here. So this is a repeat of what happened during COINTELPRO, when they used to get everybody associated. At that time it was with activists. Today, as I'm telling you, because of suspicious activity reports, it could be any of your neighbors who's a right-wing authoritarian crazy who can get you put on a watch list, and there is nothing you can do to get off. If I had some money, maybe I could get a lawyer, but I don't. You were wrong about that, neighbors on Massachusetts Drive. I'm not rich.